That was the last time I was alone with Baba. But looking back, I think Baba got out of his room and put on his clothes. I'm sure he was sitting around in his shorts or something, and came out again. Had the women come out. Oh, tremendous. So I almost blessed Mayor Gina's rupees. I got an extra alone trip with them. So I just want to give an impression of how it actually felt to be with Baba. He had a tremendous stride, and they say, and I'm not going into these reincarnation memories and stuff, but they even say in police work that you can tell a person, they've tested this, most easily by the way they walk. That if you had 10 people behind the screen, just their walk, you could identify them. And the walk that Baba had was an incredible stride. It would float along, and it was so incredible that big, tall guys could not keep up with Baba. When we trailed him around in the center, and the young, tall men were always way ahead, they still couldn't keep up with Baba. He almost floated over the ground. And when I first saw Baba walk, something did click in my head, that I had seen him as Jesus, that he had the same walk. The same walk. And, it kind of, you get those little feelings that you know somebody. And you do, when you meet Baba, you know him. And people who never heard, like you've never heard of Baba till tonight, okay, you meet Baba and you say, I know you. It's like meeting a relative or somebody, because he is your relative. He's the one relative of us all. And that's why you feel so close to him. Somewhere, somehow, you've shared the most intimate life with him. And whether this is actually true in your karma, that you spent 10 days with Jesus or something, it's also the fact, and this again to me is why I feel Baba's God. And it is that mystical feeling that he is you. It's not like some other even perfect master, let's say a Posny or something, knowing everything, just like Baba knows everything too. But he actually is that Atman that you really are, that lived your whole life. So of course he seems familiar. He's your real identity. And in some mystical moments, he kind of rips the veil, and you know that. And like I said, in that split second I had, it can never be taken away. I don't care if everyone in the whole world stood up and said, Baba's not that. It doesn't mean a thing. That's it. He's it. And because I'm sure that is the final gift, that you realize who you really are. Baba says the whole creation is going toward that. So what does Baba do to help us today? That's the big problem, isn't it? And I do go over my memories, but I also miss experiencing Baba right now, just like everybody, because he has to be reached in here. And to do that is hard sometimes. You got all this Maya and emotions and all the blocking of samskaras. So how we unblock those samskaras to reach Baba again. It was very nice to meet him, be with him physically, to get cables and warm letters and all of that. But now I have to struggle, just like everybody, to also find Baba right here and now. And that means working on myself. Not paying too much attention to how other people are. I mean, they all have their problems. But I've got to work on my problem, and my problem is me. And I think that is where it hurts, because it's so much easier to get out there and say what everyone else is doing wrong. You got to spend all that energy on finding the blocks in yourself. And I took just recently a trip to Myrtle Beach. I was very much wanting to contact these women who had meant so much to me and are now way past, all of them are past 85. There's Kitty, had her 90th birthday, and who's the most active of all. That's the most amazing thing. Running around her little golf cart. That's my last sight of her. She waves, on her golf cart. Bye. And Elizabeth, who looks somehow just angelic now. She has this fringe of silvery hair and these beautiful blue eyes, and her body, of course. But she's just she's, incredible. And Margaret Crass is also very dear to me. Those three women were there, and I really made kind of a pilgrimage to be there. And also, of course, the center where I met Bob. And it was a wonderful thing to be with them again and feel their just rock-solid dedication to Baba. I mean, those lives are something. The privilege of being with Baba so many years, but you could be with Baba so many years and not learn either, that's true too. But they have been just honed down like these beautiful things we saw in Gump, these beautiful pieces of jade, polished and carved and translucent. They were just beautiful souls, and I'm so happy I saw them because, they are not too long for this world. But I also, that was a wonderful Baba part of my trip, but I also saw some family and went through some family things that just threw me right back into facing myself and my own limitations. Family don't appreciate that you followed Baba at all. They know your worst points. And they bring up all the nice, nasty things you've done. And you have to say, yes, I was a shithead. I did. I'm sorry. And, oh, you're a hypocrite. Why? Get off this hypocritical stuff. And so it was like a total opposite. It was just really Baba pulling the rug from you. You think you're so wonderful and so spiritual, and you go see the saints in Myrtle Beach, and bam, you do all the wrong things, you say the wrong things, and it was very instructive, and I like that. Baba, it's like in this Diary of Donkins that is in my new magazine. Baba, he says, I get, Baba ticked me off really today, that English word. He says, I like that. He really likes being beaten around the ears better than being praised by Baba. And I've sort of gotten to that point too, get the kick in the teeth. It's kind of nice. I really have to. Now you can do it, first one up here. But it's like we had a big session in our group last night, and there's some really hot stuff flying around, I'm sure you have those meetings too. And at the end, we have a thing now, we kind of evaluate the meeting, one person, 1 minute for each person to say how they felt about this meeting, whatever they want to say for 1 minute. And everyone felt that it was good that we all spoke out our feelings. Some were very negative, and some were very positive. Some were this, some were that. And we had 13 people, all very different. And I just said, I love it. This is one of the best meetings we've had, when we really, unzip the girdle and just show all our feelings. It's good. And that's what being with Bob is, seeing that balance. You just see, and the Mandali that have been with him, and I think mostly, of course, right at the moment I'm thinking of the women Mandali, how they've learned to deal with the negative side of life in an honest way with themselves and with Baba. And I think that honesty, Baba says absolute honesty, you have to remember it goes from top to toe. It isn't just not cheating on your income tax, but it's emotional honesty. Anyway, I think I've overreached my time. Does anybody have questions? Yes. Oh, the game, yes. We have a little game here. You feel like playing a game, anybody? Yeah. This game is called the worry operation. First, I'll tell my worry operation story.
Okay, tell your worry operation.
I want you all to write your worry. The main worry you have. You want to pass out pencils? This is a worry operation. Write your main worry here. No signing. Absolutely not. I had a worry operation for Baba. I'll shorten it because we're running short of time. I had a worrying mind. I had a terrible worrying mind. Always did. They're going round and round like this. And then Baba, this is in 52, he created a kind of false situation on the beach. I was walking with Baba on the beach. And suddenly he looked, it was the first experience I had of Baba not being pleased with me. He was gesturing and frowning at me and all that. And it seemed that I should have led them back to the center. But I had been talking to Mehera, and very absorbed talking to her, and I didn't know at that time that nobody would move unless Mehera moved. So she and I were talking, and we did pass the path back to the center. So Baba was saying, "Why didn't you? We'll be late. We should have shown where the path was." And I thought, Baba's displeased with me, and my mind went like this, and it was terrible. And Baba was frowning and everything. And I felt, I don't know what I'd done wrong, but I'd done something wrong. And I misled people on the path. I was going through this whole thing. And then suddenly Baba gestures like this, and Mani interprets, "Phyllis, stop worrying." And I couldn't stop. And then again he gestured 3 times. And my mind was going round and round, just the worst possible. And then he called me up to him, and he took my wrist, the left wrist with his right hand. And I felt this sort of energy go up. And suddenly it all blanked out. And I couldn't remember a thing. I was happy. I wasn't worried. And I just felt, I couldn't even remember it till the end of the day when I was trying to tell it to somebody what happened. And since that time, I don't worry. I don't really worry the way I ever did before. Where you really a bad mental condition. It was a very bad habit, probably 10, 15 lives old or something. So I call it my worry operation. So we're having a worry operation. I want you to each write your worry here. Whatever it is. Everybody has one. At least, is anybody here not worrying?
Yeah, I'm worried about it.
You're worried about your worry.
No, that I'm not worried.
Oh, you're not worried. Well, it is an age-old habit. Baba says you worry so much that it gets to be a habit, you don't even know what you worry about anymore. And if you take the worry away from somebody, I know you've gone through this, they have another worry right away. It's like a dog with a bone. You can't take the bone away. Or you have to get another bone. So you cure one problem, and immediately you have another one, and another one, another one. And this is our occupation. I have a worry. And it uses up so much energy that it's not creative, it never solves a problem. It destroys that poise that Baba wants, spiritual poise. And so Baba's constantly, the most famous thing Baba said, don't worry, be happy. So, but how to get rid of the worry, that's a big thing. Of course you attend to problems and think about them and think them out and everything. But when it just becomes a bad habit, just really, you can't control it. It's an inability to deal with a problem because of your emotional nature. Yeah, now you collect them. You collect them more.
All worries. Serving all worries. All worries. Anybody got any worries they want to give up? Any worries?
A worry word. I'm going to give a prize for the worst word. No. Okay.